Hello everyone, it's Joel Davis with the United Medical Transportation Providers Group, URthebroker.com, and Home Care Access. I will try to make this video as fast as I can because I'm probably going to lose my voice soon. I finished creating it's about an hour and a half long video specifically talking about finding drivers for your NEMT business. We all know this is an absolute crazy labor market right now for every single industry. And in honor of you, Terry is our 73-year-old OG gangster, thug, hustler, still growing and scaling his business. Got tired of dealing with that Logisticare nonsense, went out and negotiated his own rates, which absolutely crushed that nonsense from Logisticare. So in his email, Terry specifically asked if I could create a video talking about where to get good drivers, train them, interview them, all that kind of good stuff. So Terry, in honor of you and that awesome email, I put that together. So for those of you who are active members of the United Medical Transportation Providers Group, log into your Teachable account and check that out. I think they ended up breaking that video into 4 or 5 parts. I don't know exactly what that is, but what the restrictions are. But regardless, make sure you watch each and every segment of that. In total, it's about an hour and 25, 30 minutes, something like that. But very good, very pertinent. You need it, especially in today's crazy lunacy with this just overinflated and laughable issues, plural, regarding our labor market. Absolutely ridiculous. So go check those out. A couple of quick things. Some of it I actually kind of mentioned a little bit in the video I just put together for labor. I want to mention a couple of things that in dealing with some client providers, there's some things that come to mind, come to heart that I want to talk about. First and foremost, I've talked about in previous videos, and I underscore this all the time. No one is ever going to care for you or your business like you. No one's ever going to come save you. No employee you hire is going to save you. No one's going to care for your business like you are. Nobody. A Medicaid broker certainly is going to care for you. Someone that a facility that you may have a contract with, they're not going to care. You could develop some great, awesome relationships, but if they're not paying their bill, are they really a strategic partner? No. Whether it's the Department of Labor, anybody, especially right now at a time when we're just absolutely upside down. You're looking at a 40-year high for inflation. And understand, inflation is a tax. Okay, when you're paying more at the pump, you're paying more at the grocery store, you're paying more for this, more for that. That is a tax, and it's burdensome. When you have ridiculous labor situation like we do now, where I have a unique and awesome perspective in working with client providers around the country, so I see different things in different locations. And you're looking at certain areas where realistically someone who should have been making 11, 12 bucks an hour, they're getting $15, $16 an hour. It's overinflated. Is it long term? Is it sustainable? No. Now I know that in many places like New York, San Francisco, where they're mandating $15 an hour minimum wage. That's all manipulated market. But regardless, you got to comply with those type of things. But bottom line, you need to do, I'm going to say this very strategically, very carefully. You need to do whatever is necessary for your business to succeed. Bottom line. I would never encourage anybody to ever break laws or do anything underhanded or less than honorable, but Medicaid brokers, for example, are notorious for imposing what I would argue draconian rules, policies, procedures, and a lot of it is done by design. Puts you in a position where you just give up, you don't argue anymore. For example, let's say they approve a trip for, maybe it's a distance trip for $100, let's say. They approve that trip for $100, and then for whatever reason, they don't want to either not pay the trip or they don't want to pay the full amount because maybe the signature wasn't clear enough, or maybe you didn't take the route that they wanted. And we've talked about these things in previous videos. Whatever. Medicaid brokers, I'm picking on them in particular right now. They are notorious for approving something and then always finding a way not to do it, not to pay for at least the full amount. And they know that at some point in time they're going to wear you down, and it's no longer worth your while to continue to complain and go back and forth. You're just going to submit. They rely on that. And think about how much money they make by you submitting. And it happens all the time. Think about how much money they make by transportation providers who just can't sustain it. They know that you're busy. If you're busy growing your business and you can't, and again, I was guilty of it in my business. They know that if you're so busy working to grow your business that you're going to lose your eye, you're going to take your eye off the ball on certain details, and they can exploit that. They know this. They make so much money through this underhanded, draconian tactic, and it is intentional. When I tell you you need to do whatever is necessary to be successful, you need to do it. Brokers may not want you to have drivers who are 1099 contractors. They want you to have they want you to have employees who are W-2s versus 1099. Okay. You may sometimes that could work most of the time, but sometimes it doesn't. Maybe there's a trip where that's not convenient for you. And again, I'm just making up scenarios. Regardless of whatever it is, I don't want to give away too much information because it would reveal some specific conversations I had with a transportation provider, and the last thing I'm going to do is give up someone's information, and their scenario. I don't want to disclose that, but bottom line is, you personally need to do whatever is necessary that's obviously legal and honest and above board, and I shouldn't have to underscore that, but for some people I will. You need to do whatever is necessary to protect you, protect your family, protect your business, protect your employees. You need to do everything you can to be successful. I talked about it in the video I uploaded where the house has to win. If the house doesn't win, everybody loses. Whether it's an employee-related issue, something with the Department of Labor, something with a Medicaid broker. Look, what's the big deal? What, they're going to knock you something? They're not going to pay for something? They're going to try to nickel and dime you anyways. Department of Labor may fine you if you didn't file something properly. That's such, Department of Labor is such small-time stuff. The IRS, obviously, we don't want to screw with that. And I talk about that in detail when it comes to if you're dealing with employees for 1099 or W-2s and payroll procedures. I talk a little bit about that because obviously you don't want to go through an IRS audit. You don't want to do something stupid that red flags and causes an audit. But outside of that type of nonsense, nobody is ever going to care for you like you are your business. With that being said, you do whatever you have to do to be successful, to protect your business legally, financially. If the house does not win, everybody loses. Do you want to care for your employees? Do you want to care for your drivers? Do you want to care for everybody? Of course you do. We all do. We're all good-hearted, big-hearted people. We want to help everybody. But if the house doesn't win, we all lose. Everybody loses. Bottom line. So kind of read between the lines. I'm not going to go into excessive detail because, again, I got to protect the interests of some of my client providers, and I don't want to put their business out there. But you need to do whatever is necessary to be successful. Another thing I'll mention. Some of you out there, you know people who've been successful. You know Johnny who started his business and whatever it was, making widgets, selling widgets, whatever. And he did well. Worked hard, protected the business, made sure the house always won, sold the business, made a lot of money, sold the business. Everybody knows a success story. When is it your turn? When is it going to be you? Because there's some of you who, it's been a long week. I've been busy as heck, and I've worked with a lot of you on a number of things. And for some of you, you got to get to a point in time where enough is enough. I need to make moves, and it's about my family. It's about me. It's about my house, literally and figuratively. It's about my house. You know Johnny's been successful. You know Sue's been successful. Now it's your turn. And I mentioned in a previous video that, you know, you personally have to get to a point in time where enough is enough and you're going to do whatever is necessary and you're going to be successful. You're tired of seeing the neighbor down the street. You're tired of seeing Johnny. You're tired of seeing Jimmy and Susie be successful. Now it's your turn. So you do whatever you have to do to build momentum, gain profitability, gain traction, build a strong foundation that you can further exploit for future growth and diversification. Again, I'm going to try to keep this quick. I obviously have the ability to go off, but a couple of quick things. I want to share awesome thank you email from Tanya. This was in response to, I shared the video, or I'm sorry, not the video, the pictures of Tanya, who got a steal of a deal on a great vehicle and everything. Worked out great in 1 or 2 videos ago. She writes, again, this is like from a week ago. I've been busy this past week, so I wasn't able to do anything in terms of making a video. But she sent me an awesome email that said, "Good morning. I feel honored to be mentioned by you in your video. Dude, my family kept texting me, quote, watch Joel, he's talking about you. I was at a party that turned into a watch Joel Davis video. Laugh out loud. I can't thank you enough for your awesome feedback every step of the way to get my business rolling. Taking your time to give me the knowledge, the drill down. To drill down the deal was, of course, what gave me the confidence to get the deal done on my terms, and it was. If you go back and watch that video, I don't remember what the asking price was for that van, but she got it for $9,000, which means she talked him down like $2 or $3,000, something in that ballpark for the van, the stretcher, steal of a deal. She said, man, couldn't have done it without you. Looking forward to start negotiating for contracts with the market analysis your team prepared for us. I'm so pumped for the next steps between, by the way, sent you the video of the vehicle Dropbox. I'll keep you posted. I did get the video, awesome video, appreciate it. In fact, I'll probably share it again. I've just been swamped this past week. Love your boldness. Your criticism is unique to you, a challenge to keep us on the prowl. See you at the top, Tanya. Awesome feedback. I really appreciate it, Tanya. Awesome. Again, kudos to you for that awesome deal. Yeah, the market analysis. I know Tanya's in an awesome market. Huge market dripping with opportunity. So that market analysis is going to be an awesome opportunity for her to build that foundation and get momentum going. I want to include this email. This email is from Kelly. Kelly, you sent us this awesome email, which is just absolutely awesome. We tried to respond. Dawn tried to respond to you, but it kept getting bounced back to us. So I don't know if the email you entered in when you were submitting this, because you submitted it online, if the email was incorrect. If you watch this video and get it, make sure you reach back out to us so we can get you some more detailed information. But Kelly writes, good morning. I am a nurse of almost 13 years, with most of my time serving in various hospital settings ranging from emergency rooms to intensive care. In dealing with COVID these past 2 years, it has become obvious that our medical system is heading in reverse versus forward. Sadly, we are no longer patient-focused. We are policy-driven, which is tying our hands and is not always in the best interest of the patient. Despite what you might see on TV, healthcare providers are no longer free to speak openly about patient concerns. The entire system is becoming more and more manipulated. It is sad and in some cases horrifying. I love being a nurse and helping patients and believe it is my calling. I have thought about starting a home care agency many times before, but this would be my first business, which definitely brings a lot of fear. I would like to think I am a very good nurse, but with no prior business experience, I definitely have fear and concern about starting my own business. One of my initial concerns was my ability to replace my current income, but I think your last video did a good job illustrating the earning potential. I'm assuming, Kelly, you're talking about the video that we have on homecareaccess.com. I guess my question now is how applicable your program would be for someone like me with no prior business experience. I am confident this might be my fear talking versus common sense, but any thoughts from you would be very reassuring and I am sure insightful. Warm regards, Kelly, and then your last name. Kelly, again, great email, great correspondence. This is awesome. This underscores a lot of things that I see and hear being out there. My wife, she's a doctor. My sister is a nurse she's been a nurse forever. And I hear much of the same type of scenarios that they echo much of what you're saying. So I can definitely appreciate that. In terms of home care access, helping you get going, there's no question. We welcome the opportunity to work with you, hold your hand. If you're working directly with my partners, Marty and Ginny, they're going to work with you directly for at least 120 days. Obviously, if you want to work with them longer, they can do that. So bottom line, we're there to help you and support you in every way we can. The one caveat I would tell you is this. You mentioned that you love being a nurse, which is great. That is huge. Clearly that can help you with your home care business. But understand, in growing and scaling a business, you're not going to be personally and directly caring for each one of those clients. You mentioned that you have worked in emergency rooms and intensive care. Now, what we're going to teach you with Home Care Access is strictly non-medical. Now, does that mean that you as a nurse can't be actively involved, especially if you, at least in the early stages, you're out there conducting the assessments yourself as a nurse? That's phenomenal. It's a huge, huge advantage for you, and great opportunity. But my point is, there's a difference between you taking care of a handful of patients during a shift in a hospital setting and you owning a home care agency. You're building a business, a team of caregivers who are going to help render service and care for your clients versus you actively going out there and caring for patients. And realistically, you have to be practical. If you're trying to build a business and you're going to have 10 caregivers and 20 caregivers and 40 caregivers, are you personally going to have the same relationship with your clients that at home in their setting as you would someone who is in a hospital? And again, you mentioned you've worked in ERs and intensive care. I don't know what you're doing right now in the hospital, but it's not going to be the same. So it sounds like you're kind of fed up with the healthcare system, which, trust me, I get it. I talk to a lot of people. I hear a lot of things between my wife, my sister, other people who I work with. I get it. I hear what's going on out there. And it sounds like you're ready to transition to something completely different, which owning your own home care agency would be completely different than you working as a nurse one-on-one with some patients in the hospital. But regardless, if you're watching this video, reach back out to us, because again, we tried to contact you by email. It keeps bouncing back. Let us know. Another quick caveat I want to talk about in regards to some emails. People have some questions. They loved Terry. They loved your email, your situation of negotiating your rates. To give you a quick just baseline point of negotiation, any rates that you're going to negotiate, if we looked at our other client provider who we featured the rates from Southeast Trans, which for like ambulatory pickup was like $7.35, the wheelchair was like $17 and change, mileage didn't start until after mile 6. You can never make money with that. That's why everyone loved your email, Terry, because now you're making real money. You're done with that logistic care nonsense. My point to all of you is anything you do coming out of the gate has got to cover your labor costs. If you are in some of these Loon Tune areas where the minimum wage is a minimum of $15, if you're coming out of the gate with $15 minimum wage, an ambulatory pickup has to cover your labor cost. Now, mind you, if you're paying someone $15 an hour, it costs you more like $18 an hour when you factor in FICA, unemployment, taxes, workers' comp, things like that. You're looking at $15 is really costing you $18, $19, whatever it is. You coming out of the gate, every single trip has to cover your labor cost. We're not going to play this stupid shell game of, okay, I got to perform 2 trips in order to cover my labor cost and make some money. That is not an option. That's exactly why. Kudos to you, Terry. For those of you, if you didn't watch that video from Terry that featured his numbers of what he's doing with this new broker, kudos to him. Go back and check out that video. So listen, folks, I'm going to lose my voice here because I just put that video together for Teachable regarding finding, hiring, training, recruiting drivers for your NAMT business. If you're an active UMTPG member, go check that out on your Teachable, on our Teachable platform. If you have any problems logging in, email Karen at milliondollartransportation.com. She'll make sure she gets you the correct credentials so you can get logged in. As always, thank you all for your great emails. Tanya, kudos to you again. Thanks so much for your email. Love the fact that the party you were going to turned into a West Joel Davis video party. That's awesome. That's cool. But happy to help. Happy for the deal that you made. Kelly, if you're watching this, email us. We want to hear from you. As always, folks, I appreciate it. Thank you for your awesome emails. Stay tuned. Stay focused. Another big week this week. Hopefully, I'll be able to put a video together and, you know, I gotta go to town early in the week, but maybe towards the end of the week, we'll see. But stay tuned. When you do, I'll see you at the top. Let's go, Brandon. Hey.